sure, whatever. This is why I had to zero my splits, because they're never ever going to be right because of how the category works. I wish breaking out of the cutscene was more effective. As it stands, it's just a cute gimmick. Super set, yeah, no kidding. There really isn't much going on for the first, like, 5 minutes of the run, unfortunately. It's a high breeziest conch. The conch knows all. Except for where Mary is. I keep saying this, but here's a hot one. You see those, like, those street signs, the green ones on top of that pole? Those don't load properly if you keep mashing the text. You just get a pole. No sign. And cars also stop loading in properly. It's weird. How runs have been? I PB'd by 44 seconds in dog ending, which, like, is pretty juicy. Because it puts me at third. I'm behind second place by 1 second. But that run had some very obvious places where it could be improved. It's just that dog ending is, like, somewhat underplayed. So I've PB'd today, at least. And now I'm doing UFO ending, a category I've never done a run of before. Because it's the only one I haven't done a run of before. Like, fundamentally, Silent Hill 2 any %, dog ending, and UFO ending are very similar runs. Very similar runs. Like, they're nearly the same, to be honest. TBH. So I kind of just like to alternate between them to kind of just, like, I want to play the game, but, like, just bounce between the 3 categories because, like, fuck it, right? They're basically the same. I wish I'd thought of, like, doing this before, but I didn't submit this to GDQ along with my Silent Hill 2 submission, but I wish I'd thought of, including a bid war for ending type for a Silent Hill 2 run at GDQ, something like that, because I would be able to do a bid war between dog, UFO, or normal ending. Like, relatively easily. That would be good, I think. I'll keep that in mind for next time, I think. I've always wanted to run a game with a donation incentive. Every single, like, I've never ever been able to think of good donation incentives for any fucking game I run. So when I submit to marathons, I'm always, like, lacking the donation incentive, and I feel like that's a weak point. If I could come up with good donation incentives, that would help, I think. So I gotta come up with something. I gotta be more intriguing. Unfortunately, the best way to do that is to I almost just left without thinking about it. The best way to do that is to come up with dumb challenge runs, and I'm not really good at those. And they also tend to, like, inflate estimates really badly. Like, there's knife only for Silent Hill 1. But the problem with that is that I've never done a run of it, and it's, like, it seems like it's quite significantly longer and much riskier. But I don't know. Maybe it's a good idea. No, 3 endings. There's, like, 6, I think, actually. The problem is just that I can't predict which one of 3 I'm gonna get. Like, you can force... actually, I could include Rebirth as well as an ending choice. Although I'd need to remember... I'd need to know how to get Rebirth first, because I don't know where the fucking items are for that. It's also less interesting. No one cares about Rebirth ending. If you have the 4... mystical items at the end of the game, you always get Rebirth ending. If you have the dog key and you enter the dog room, you always get dog ending. If you use the blue stone in the correct places, you always get UFO ending. The 3 main endings of the game, like Leave, Maria, or In Water, those I can't reliably trigger. So I would not be able to have it depends on how you play the game that determines what ending you get of the 3, like, normal endings, which makes it very, Oh, there's the blue stone. Shit. Which makes it more challenging to manipulate. It's also a thing that the game prioritizes the ending, like the normal ending, based on what ending you got last, which again makes it, like, even harder to manipulate for specificity if you want a specific ending. Like, good fucking luck with that. If you're going to speedrun it. Like, if you're just playing the game normally, it's quite easy to get the ending you'd prefer, but if you're playing the game like I do, you don't get a lot of opportunities to screw around trying to manipulate the ending type. So whatever ending I get tends to just sort of fluctuate. If I'm doing any percent where you get the normal ending, it tends to fluctuate between either you getting the Leave ending, which is standard, or the Maria ending. Lots of RNG. It doesn't matter what ending type you get, is the thing. Like, it's completely irrelevant to the run for the most part. It's determined via a series of incredibly complicated interlocking point system factors that determines how you play, what you interacted with, and what you looked at, and all that shit. So if you know what it checks for, it's very easy to push it to one ending over the other. But during a speedrun, obviously, I'm not paying attention to any of that shit, I'm just going. So I'm far more likely to get either the Leave ending or the Maria ending. I don't think I've ever gotten the In Water ending off a run. Even though, like, it's technically possible, I've just never seen it happen. But which ending you get of that too doesn't matter. I mean, it kind of matters. The Maria ending is, like, 1 second slower, but, like, doesn't matter. See, therein lies a strange additional premium that UFO places upon this run. It occupies inventory space. No, there's no random drops in this game. There are random puzzles. That tends to be the biggest source of RNG in this run. Like that clock puzzle I did a while ago where I was like rotating the hand around. Where the hand's initial... The solution is always the same, but where the hand's initial position is different. And obviously, depending on which position you get, it can take longer to swivel the... Thanks, James. It can take longer to swivel the thing around. And there's a stark contrast between, like, a good clock and a bad clock. A good clock takes, like, a second. A bad clock can take, like, 12. So that kinda does matter. Otherwise, the randomness is as much or as little as you make of it in this game, which puts it in a rather interesting place. Because there's a puzzle where you need to pull on the noose of a man who is marked as an arsonist. And you go into this room and you look at masks, and then you find the one that says arson, and then you pull that guy's rope, and it's like, cool. Except you don't have to go in the room that shows you what the people actually did. You can just go to the room with the nooses and just yank one. So, like, really extremely YOLO players will just immediately run to that room and yank a rope. In the blind hope that they hit an arsonist without actually fucking looking. It works sometimes. Your odds are 1 in 6. You get it sometimes. I don't do it because I think that's stupid. And the game is also not optimized to the point where you really need to do that. Oops, the game is being dumb. Auto-aim is a dumb thing that shouldn't exist. It's another fun mechanic of this game, by the way, is that it's got auto-aim on lower difficulties. Where if you press X, it tries to auto-target enemies, and it's never ever desirable. You never ever want it to do that, and whoever fucking implemented that feature should be punched in the fucking face, because it's stupid. It's stupid, 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 stupid. It's never ever desirable. It's in 3 as well, and it's just as terrible there. It's almost as if you shouldn't have the shoot button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, cool. It's almost as if you shouldn't have the fucking shoot and, you know, use item button be the same goddamn thing. So if I press X, it'll aim the gun. I hate that. It shouldn't do that. It only does it on lower difficulties to make the controls simpler, but what it actually does is it makes it a complete pain in the dick. I don't really get what's with that either. I've never known a single person in my life who's ever struggled with the survival horror conceit of press the button to aim the gun and then press the other button to shoot it. But apparently this is too complex. Nah, Pyramid Head is no bother at all. We're not even gonna see him again for the rest of the run, because he doesn't turn up in this category. Skip the cutscene, maybe. That would be a good one. Because, yeah, I could get the blue gem. And then get the dog key. I'm not going to get the dog key in this run, but I could. And then I would be able to perform a donation incentive about which ending type I would want to get after the videotape. Or, well, actually, slightly before the videotape. Fuck. Auto-aim in a game with only 2 dimensions. I mean, there are some enemies that are on the floor, but, like, if you're playing on a higher difficulty that doesn't do auto-aim, it will still point the gun automatically up and down to hit things because that makes sense. You know? Resident Evil doesn't fucking do that, and that's obnoxious. I wish Resident Evil did do that, in fact, because lickers are a pain in the dick because of it. In fact, I don't think Resident Evil, like, ever got around to doing that in a classic Resident Evil game, having you actually automatically aim the gun downwards if you're clearly aiming at a thing that's downwards. I don't think those games ever got around to that innovation. Ooh, missed the door like a champ. My time is leet. It's not leet anymore.
Did you find the lady you're looking for? What's her name?
Turn it again, fuck. Every time I slow down like that, it's annoying, because obviously it loses time. You want to get smooth lines. You don't want to get stuck on shit. I will need to revise the text of that September alert that I have going with Nightbot there, because that's not technically accurate. Mostly because Twitch have decided to, in their infinite wisdom, make it really fucking complicated this year for no reason. Hey, Salty Nuts. DJ Salty Nuts. Soup. Hi, Philippe. Hey, a Borkba mode. That reminds me, right? I have a Borkba sub now. I have no idea why. I don't know who the fuck did that or for what purpose, but I have a Borkba sub now. Not that I mind, but like, okay. Oh, I haven't split in a while, actually. I just, like, forgot to for a bit there. The movies don't really have anything to do with the games. They are loosely based on the games at best and do not really correlate with much in them. I really wish I could understand that teddy bear's hitbox. It's so strange. So here's the code. The custom in my chat is to write the code into the chat. 5219. 5219. Good exit. 5219. If I keep saying it out loud, I will remember it more. What? That was good. Apparently I hit the 8 somehow, question mark. Love this game's mouse handling. Ignore my input. Trying to tell the game to go upwards sometimes is more challenging than you would expect. Second code. 2579. Shit, I'm too early. Two, 5, 7, 9. Not bad. Flesh Lips is the name of a boss. And then we use the stone, hence why I've called it UFO 1. Good. That hitbox, by the way, to use that shit is surprisingly fucking weird. Is Xbox a better port of this game? Yes. 100%. If you have the opportunity to play a console version of this game, do that if it's your first time with it. I do not recommend the PC port for first-time players. PC port of this game has numerous problems. Unfortunately, it's fast. None for you, big boy. That might trigger the slow one. Yep, it did. Excellent. Good game. Oh, no, maybe not. He spawned in anyway. Die, s'il vous plaît. Oh? Oh, no, he is dead. He's just being really slow about it. Yeah, that's time loss. Thanks, game. Right, does this cutscene count for time? Yes. Okay, so I can't stand there and smell the roses when those cutscenes are available. I didn't know. I had to check. When will Silent Hill 2 be on Steam? Never. Remember, it's a Konami joint. Fucking Homecoming got on Steam somehow, but, like, they're never gonna put the time and effort into making it so that these games run on Windows 10 properly. Nice auto-aim. Brilliant. Epic. That's incredible. You weren't gonna hit that thing from that distance anyway, you fucking spacker. Why are you aiming? You want Silent Hill 1, 2, 3 on GOG. They're never gonna give you 1, I can tell you that right now, because they have literally lost the source code for it. That shit's gone. It was never on PC in the first place, and the source code for it is now completely gone at this point. What the fuck was that game? Please. Fan of Resident Evil Biohazard games? Yes. Probably more so than I am Silent Hill games, honestly. Because I believe the Resident Evil series has mostly good games. What about the ISOs? Try reverse engineering a fucking PC port from an ISO image of a PS1 game. Good luck. Doesn't have the source code? No. That's not how computers work. An ISO of a game online is not source code. Why is this game so bad? Use the fridge. Dude, it's not even the only game source code they fucking lost. They've lost the source code to this game, actually. How'd they lose it? Just... I don't know. No one thought to keep it. Konami's... A lot of early Konami stuff's gone. Same with KH1. Yeah. They've lost the source code to every game in the Silent Hill series, actually. Oh yeah, out of the way. Like, all of the classic ones, the ones people actually like. All those are gone. They straight up just got rid of them. But the thing is that 2, 3, and 4 all have PC ports, so, like, it's not that big of a deal. I say that, it's kind of a big deal, but you know what I mean. Like, if you wanted to reverse engineer some shit, you have a PC build to work with. You can, in fact, pare the PC game down to spare parts if you really want to. You don't get source code, but you can get kind of vaguely near. Hell no. Dude, average game companies are shit at preserving video games. They're so... But, like, this isn't even uncommon, is the thing, by the way. Konami lost a lot of shit, and so many other companies have. Kingdom Hearts 1, Square Enix lost the fucking source code to that shit ages ago. Sega have completely lost the vast majority of their old arcade games. House of the Dead 1 is completely gone. Like, that shit sailed. Every time I manage to hit the fucking corner of that shit. I'm trying to think of more examples of games that are completely lost to time. We can see the ending, we have to skip it. I don't know. I have to skip the scenes with the UFO. I don't know if you're allowed to see the ending. Or if I have to skip that. I'll find out. Like, this run's not... I'm not attached to this one. Can't get that attached to a first run, that's silly. How's Silent Hill 2 compared to Silent Hill 1? As a run or as a game? Because, like, as a speedrun, Silent Hill 2 is definitely glitchier, and that can be more entertaining, but I hate the movement in this game. Like, a lot. Because it doesn't use tank controls. You use 2D control style, and it's just annoying. It's really, really annoying to work with. And you have to use the PC port as well if you want to go fast, so you have to deal with the PC port's bullshit on top of that, and it's a really bad PC port. It's buggy, it's janky, it crashes at random sometimes, it's got a bunch of jank shit in it. It's like, you literally have to use, like, mixed keyboard and controller style to get the hang of it. Because there's not enough buttons on a controller, but you need an analog stick for moving. It's not. It's not ideal. On a console, it's a perfectly fine video game. Although, like, I'll be honest with you, I think Silent Hill 2 is the weakest game in the classic, like, set of Silent Hill games. This is an opinion that is apparently, like, incredibly blasphemous among, like, the hardest core Silent Hill fans, but fuck you guys. Oh, shit. That's not what I wanted. I did that really badly. Yeah, I think 3 is the weakest game of the 3. I wouldn't say it's worse than 4. 4 is quite dire. My problem with 2, as I will now illustrate, is there's a shitload of scenes in this game of, like, especially as a speedrun as well, right? This ties into my problem with the speedrun. There's a lot of points in this game where there's fucking nothing happening. Like, this is, like, it's egregious even for a Silent Hill game. Like, it's a lot of walking from just place to place. And, like, I know survival horror speedruns are generally like that, and Silent Hill 1 especially does have a lot of just wandering from place to place in fog. But this game doesn't even, like, there are frequently sections where you're not doing very much even then. Like, it's a pretty fucking glacially paced thing even. And, like, this is a problem I had with it even as a casual game. Like, there's just so many sections of the late game, especially, like, the Historical Society to the Labyrinth is a level that people seem to really love, because, like, it's drenched in atmosphere. It's wonderfully creepy. But there's nothing happening. You just go through identical looking rooms and scenarios and places, and it just all blends into this horrible mix. I don't know, it really started boring me. But I think Silent Hill 2 has a really strong ending. The hotel, in my opinion, the hotel is the best part of the game. Because when it makes you give up all your weapons and shit, that's fucking spooky. That's that real shit. That part I enjoyed quite thoroughly. It's also more complex. There's actually, like, stuff going on in it. Okay, that was good. Good movement. I actually went in literally the opposite direction of what I want to go. It's not a bad game for what it's worth. Like, I'm comparing this to 1 and 3, which are games I think are some of the best of their, like, class in the genre. So, like, of course I have some harsh words, but I do think Silent Hill 2 has the plot with the most emotional resonance. Or punch. Because the ending is ever good. Would I ever run 3? I do. I have a world record in it. I run all of them, actually. I run 1, 2, and 3. I've even dabbled in 4, but 4 sucks. Maybe I'll pick up 4 again. Maybe. Ever since, like, that new tech got found that makes the run a lot less of a pain in the ass. So, like, that could ease it. I haven't seen 3 yet. That's weird, because, like, I ran it for, like... I run it fairly... I wouldn't say, like, super frequently, but, like, frequently enough. Like, it came up again a few months ago when I was grinding it for a... How's 3 feel compared to 2? The movement's way smoother. 3's tank controls are super fine. It feels really good to move in that game, and that's my favorite part of that run, is the movement. It just feels good to control Heather. Heather has really nice feeling movement. Like, they really got tank controls right with that game. Like, you can even kind of do melee combat in that game, and it's not super terrible. I wouldn't describe it as necessarily, like, fluid, but it's not really supposed to be, either, because it's a survival horror game, after all. But it's much... You know, you can actually do things with it. You can swing a sword and have it actually, like, hit things. And it's got boss fights that, like, kind of have a thing going on. Like, they're still not great, bear in mind. I especially think Silent Hill bosses get kind of obnoxious on the higher difficulties. But, like, there's at least something going on with those boss fights. So I like... Wow, that was whack. Yeah, I like 3 the most. Oh, strange camera angle. Can't see what I'm doing. Haha, XD. Love that shit. Now I'm in a hole. Take the pistol. In fact, pistol seems arguably better to swap to than the shotgun here. Because it makes the inventory a bit like quicker. Pistol. Pistol. Oh wow. That camera angle's awkward. Wow, I hit that door from miles off. Nope, wrong one. Wrong fucking door. What am I looking for exactly there? Get spooked. No, I forget you need to hold right there. Okay, that worked. This is a nice bedtime stream. People say that a lot about the Silent Hill streams. I get the feeling everyone's watching me to chill out and go to bed. Which is fine by me, but also odd. I also can't tell if you were being sarcastic or not. Like, I actually genuinely can't. Fucking, that was good. That was legit quality speedrunning. Get the health, you knob. Not that it really matters. In fact, none of this matters, actually. Being sincere. See, I couldn't tell.
But, like, some people are sincere about it. And you're one of them. Wow. Like, I don't know, people find Silent Hill really relaxing as a game to watch, which is, like, really counterintuitive.
I think they're the most relaxing runs that I do, but that's because every other run I do is a fucking high-octane platformer that's insanely frustrating. So obviously this is more relaxing. My voice makes it nice. My voice is relaxing, is it? I mean, I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll hold that. You're found on the West Coast US. Happy to see me stream some Silent Hill 2 before you go to bed. See, I gotta start streaming earlier than this so people can catch me when they're awake rather than when they're about to go to sleep. Yeah, cool visuals, chill music. Yeah, it's usually quite, like, melancholy. Like, this game has some great music. I do enjoy the music in this game quite a lot. This one's probably better to fall asleep to than, like, 1 or 3, because, like, 1 has a lot of just violent crashing sounds in it. And so does 3, actually. 3 just has a lot of banging. Whereas Silent Hill 2 is more melancholy. And just sort of quiet. Which ties into my, like, general sort of, like, I don't know why I think it's, like, the weakest game of the 3, because I actually think that gets really boring, but whatever. If it makes for good stream viewing, then I'm not complaining. Like, I learned this purely because, like, I don't hate this game. Like, bear in mind, I don't hate this game. He wasn't walking at all. He's just... Okay, good one, James. You did a real good job with that one. Bloody hell. That's bad. White Day. White Day is, I find it fun, but it's not a great run. Like, even less so than this game. I say even less so. This game's actually, like, not a bad run at all, but, like, it's not my favorite. But I also lost my record in White Day. I didn't even fucking hold it for that long. Some trance, like, started running the game and just beat it immediately because... of course he would. It's trance. It's quite good at games. He aims for those. Oh my fucking word, James. Move. Move. Yay. Oh my god. Fucking end my life. Broken English translations. Oh yeah, because White Day used to be, I'm talking about the remake. You're talking about the original. That's why you said original White Day. I missed that word. That's a good... You should read posts before you reply to them, generally. That's a good shout. Does the PC have all the extra content from the Xbox or no? It does, yes. The remake is quite intense. Possibly too much, so. Oh, fuck, it was first try arson. I could have done it. It does have a better translation, although I still think the translation's a bit, like, wonky in places, but, like, whatever, I don't speak Korean. Hello? There you go. I actually don't know if he pulled that. I'm gonna find out. Okay, he did. Thank you. So I don't speak Korean, but like the English writing is in places a bit like are you certain? Wow, the game did it twice in a row. Good game. Good fucking game. You can't use that here, staring at the only object in the entire fucking game world that has any relevance to this item. Stupid. Yeah, because that divining rod shit's in the original as well, isn't it? Like, okay, so I've seen a run of the original White Day, and it's probably a better run than the remake White Day, because you can run really fucking fast in the original White Day. Like, really fast. Like, you accelerate weirdly, but you get to, like, quite a speed in that game. And also, you can fall off shit and do, like... You take fall damage in the original, but that's like good because now you can like do skips with it. So it's kind of more interesting, I think. Oh, what? Where do I have to use it? Do I gotta use it here? I hope it's here. Okay, yeah. That makes sense when you think about it, but still. That was way too early. Actually, I lied. I might have... No, I overshot, actually. Yeah, the end game maze as well. Like, I note that no runs of that game actually do that. Like, either remake or original. They all just end it with, like, one of the early, less interesting endings, because the maze is just... It's just minutes of walking through identical fucking looking places. It's dreadfully uninteresting. I've never actually seen what it's like in the original game, mind you. There's also fucking, like, in the remake, you have... what's-her-face? Who is the girl that you can unlock as? I don't remember her name, because she's really forgettable. Jimin, I think? I don't remember. I really don't remember. Get through something. Yeah, either way, you can play as her in that, and like she also goes to the labyrinth at some point, and her version's like this tiny fucking area, which eliminates the challenge of navigating, but also you have to hit the objectives in a specific order that isn't obvious if you don't know how the wuxing works. And even like I do, and I forget it sometimes, and it's like cool. Oh? Oh, bitch. Fucking late push. Please just hit the fucking target. That was actually a really good out of bounds, which kind of... Why couldn't I have that on a run that was actually good? I say that was really good. I failed it once, but like second try is not bad. What's happening? That's an out of bounds. This game has one of those, by the way. It's probably the only, like, it's the only trick in the run, really. So hi, Edney. Good morning. Genuinely never seen that. It's kinda new. Kinda. It's been around for at least the better part of a year, but like, only one guy really did it. Fuck. Fuck again. Actually, you would think if I have my flashlight down here, I could use the bar key just fine, but I'm pretty sure you can't. I have no idea what the estimated final runtime is. We're close to the end if that matters. Like a minute or two. I'm not even surprised anymore. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much how the length of all Silent Hill 2 runs. It's not a oh, nice auto aim, bro. It's not a tremendously long game. That was good menuing. That was good menuing. Ah, I like that one. I never do good menuing. Except when I do good menuing. Do. Ha. There's the W. This is something different. I mean, it's the thing I've been doing for the past 2 weeks. Oh, hi, Dark Surge. Oh, I hit that. I've hit that every run so far. No, get the key. This can be 38. Provided I get a fucking move on. Ah! What the fuck was that camera, dude? What do you mean maybe you could use it somewhere? Can I see the ending? No, I can't. I have to skip it. Sorry, Philippe. I wanted to. You can't. The ending counts against your fucking final time because of video games. Like, this, it's really cool how you do runs. Like, if I was doing a marathon run, obviously I'd let the ending play because I'm not dumb. Also, let me check that hot time at the end. 38:31. It counts for the in-game time, dude. I'm sorry. I wanted to show it, but I can't. Because it will fucking count against me. If I get a dead run, I'll let it rock, but 38:30, that's second place. Yay!